Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 6th of June 2021, obviously the anniversary of D-Day, and we've got a very special episode. So I've got Lorraine, my wife, who's going to give her perspective on, well, various things. Just a little bit housekeeping beforehand. I know some people have been trying to email me off of my website, and for some reason hardly any of the emails are coming through, so I am in the process of setting up something else. I think it's because it's a Gmail thing that basically goes through, and probably censorship issues or whatever, so hopefully getting something a bit more robust set up, but it's not that easy, but hopefully I'll get that done in the next few days. And I think there's a guy who was hoping to get me on one of his regular Zoom calls this evening. Well, of course I'm not getting the login details, so tonight's looking a bit unlikely, I'm afraid. Sorry about that, but hopefully next Sunday I'd sort of like to join that. But anyway, without any further ado, so I'm just going to ask Lorraine, well, what do you think about the 21st of June? Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen?
Do you know, I really hope that it is going to happen, but I'm doubtful. Just because they're already making noises about that there's the variant that's 40% more transmissible, and they're just putting people in that frame of panic again. But I did wonder if what they're planning on doing is making it look like it's all going to go ahead right until a few days before.
And then pull the rug out.
Yeah, a bit like they did at Christmas when they said you can have 6 of you together for 3 days. So everyone went out and did their shopping, and then they changed their mind right before. So I do really hope I'm wrong, but I just think that this isn't going to go away, and it's not. I don't know why anybody thought that suddenly, because it's June the 21st, it would all go back to normal.
Yeah, and it's just a ridiculously slow route map anyway, starting, well, I think the first stage was the kids going back to school on about the 1st of March, and why it's had to take sort of 3.5 months to get to the 21st of June, and that is suspicious anyway. Gave them plenty of time.
Also, do you know, I know it probably depends on your personality, but as you know, I suffer from depression and anxiety, and the longer that the lockdown goes on, the more I feel less inclined to do anything. So particularly because I'm working from home, so I get up, I come downstairs, I get a drink, go back upstairs, back to the study, start working, and I'm not really going anywhere else. And the longer that's going on, the lazier I feel. And I do think that's part of the plan, that they want people to be lethargic and the fight to go out of them. And I think this is why meeting people at the stand in the park and reading the reviews on YouTube is so helpful, because it kind of motivates you to keep you going. Yeah,
I'd agree with that. And the marches as well,
yeah,
and they're just so uplifting. But the stand in the parks are just such an easy thing to do. Everybody's got them sort of fairly near them, at least, and we have. What did you think of the one this morning?
Yeah, it was lovely, really good, and to bring the two groups together.
Yes, yeah,
was really nice, because we met some people today that we hadn't met before.
Yeah.
And that was good. And that's another nice thing of meeting these people, because they all get their information from different places. So you learn about new sites that you didn't know about, and they learn from you about things that they didn't know about. So yeah, it was very positive this morning. It was lovely.
Yeah,
really
it was a good crowd actually there in Crawley, sort of 18, 19 people I think it was.
Yeah, well I think more came at the end.
Oh right.
Yeah, just before we left.
Yes, so that was...
And also, it goes on for longer, so it goes on, people stay as long as they want. So some people last week I think stayed till about 1 o'clock.
Yes, that's.
So it is really nice.
Yeah, it's a really nice atmosphere down there. Sort of, well worth going along if you possibly can. So this whole situation we're in, and I know how I'm coping. I've got my sort of coping mechanism, which is this channel and the videoing and stuff. How have you been? Well, and obviously I know how. But just for people watching, how have you been coping with it?
I think I've had times where I can't. I know it's ridiculous, but I can't. I have to take a step away from everything. So I don't look at the YouTube channels, and I don't read anything. And I think that is because of my struggle with anxiety and depression. So sometimes I'll sort of take a step back from it, maybe feel a bit sorry for myself, but then when I come back to it all again, I feel re-energized. And I think if it hadn't have been for you doing all this research and you've kept the positivity high, I think that's really helped me. I think if I was with somebody who believed all the mainstream,
a blue-pilled
this
person.
would have been horrendous.
Well, that's where we're fortunately really lucky, because we're both more or less on the same page, aren't we? Not totally 100%, but
I mean,
sort of mostly.
Even when I thought, when you started at the beginning in March last year, when it started being the media reporting and we would have to lock down, and I would be thinking, oh my gosh, well, maybe there is something in this. Maybe, we are all going to die of COVID. Even when they talked about lockdown way back in March 2020, I remember saying to my mum and sister, if we lock down, we're never getting back out of it, because all that happens, and this has just been verified over the past year, because as soon as you start coming out of it, of course infection rates go up. Because unless you totally eradicate the virus from the world, as soon as you start mixing again, cases are going to go up.
Especially with the testing.
Especially they're testing more people, so they're doing more tests every single day. I've got work colleagues who go into work and they have 2 tests a week. Well, they weren't having that a year ago.
No.
So people are being tested more, so of course there's going to be more cases found.
Yeah.
And there's no perspective on that. They don't say, oh yeah, well, we're doing 150% more tests and there's 150% more cases.
No,
of
no.
course.
Oh, yeah, they'd never give you that information, would they? But
no.
And it's just an endless cycle, isn't it?
Yeah, so I don't know. I personally, I can't see an end to it, but I'm hopeful that there will be an end.
Yeah, what's that phrase? Sort of hope for the best, plan for the worst.
Yeah.
So, that's what you have to do. But I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens and go from there. But I do think we are so lucky, because there's so many people who, one spouse is sort of with us and the other one is kind of just totally believing the mainstream media. Who was it at the stand who was saying a couple were like that, and
they divorced. Yeah, they've got divorced now.
Yeah, the bloke, apparently the husband sort of just, because they're in the same house all the time after being sort of really busy jobs, and now in the same house not doing anything.
Because he was self-employed, so initially he wasn't able to go out to work. Yeah. So he was just in the house with this woman who had completely different ideas to him.
And he just said, why am I married to this woman? And off he went. And fortunately we're not like that. We're just really, really lucky, aren't we?
Yeah.
But I feel really sort of bad for people who sort of aren't in this lucky situation.
But also, I think I was worried about meeting friends when I knew I hadn't had the vaccine, and I knew I have got some younger friends who've only just got to the age group where they're being offered it. But I was very worried that people would start saying, "Well, no, we're not going to have anything to do with you." so far, the people that have been vaccinated still don't mind meeting up with me. They don't care because they've said to me so far, we've done our bit for ourselves, and so what you do is up to you.
Yeah. Yes.
Despite the media trying to trying to get people to be against each other by having programs where they say, should you unfriend your unvaccinated?
Oh, God, yeah. I don't think that's working in real life, though. Fortunately,
I haven't found that so far. So I mean, long may that continue. Yeah. But I think that was my main fear, because I've always had a wide circle of friends. I was worried that my world would get really small, and I'd go from having lots of friends to having hardly any. And now I realise that actually, if those friends that have a different viewpoint to me don't want to be friends with me anymore, there are many people now out there that have the same views as me.
Yes. Yeah. Just new friends are going to be forthcoming.
So it would be new friends if it got to that stage.
Yeah.
And I think that's been the good thing with you on YouTube, finding out about the Stand in the Park and finding all these like-minded people. That's helped me.
Yes.
With keeping the hope alive, because I think that's the thing. When you're in the house working from home, you're not seeing people on a regular basis. It can become very isolating and closed in, and if you're not careful, you start thinking that everyone out there hates you.
Yes, yeah,
because
it is an easy
you're
trap.
A conspiracy theorist.
Yes, and you're just on your own. You're this crazy person in the family and your circle of friends, and you're totally different from everybody else. And then you start going to the London marches and the stands, and hang on a minute, there's quite a lot of us.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Especially the last march.
Yes, that was amazing. That was the 29th of May. That's great. Yeah, it's looking more and more like it is definitely the 26th of June for the next major one. I think I saw something come through on the Stand in the Park Telegram messaging saying the 26th, so that's quite a important source of information, credible source of information. So I think the 26th is looking good. So anything else you want to round off with, because we don't want to keep this going too long and take up too much of people's times with our sort of ramblings, but it helps me to stay positive by seeing the reactions and seeing people from the Stand in the Park and seeing the outcome of these marches. And I mean, from a personal thing, I know I have to get back fitter and start exercising more to get back to how I was like a year ago. Yeah, don't say get back fitter though. That sounds like another phrase.
Oh!
Build
back better.
Oh no.
No, but sorry. Yeah,
that's
crazy.
No, it's sort of nothing to do.
But I used to do such a lot of walking when I worked out of away from home. And that routine has completely gone by the by, and I would say probably since July last year. So I feel personally unfit, and I think that's a bad situation to be in. So for myself,
well, I've definitely got a bit more of a belly than I did have this time last year.
Eating everything, but yeah. So I think if we can stay fit, that's part of the battle, and just keep researching and keep watching other people's videos and find out what other people are doing, and just to try and keep.
And the comments to these videos, Fair Play Now videos, are amazing as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are lovely. Yeah, really lovely.
Yeah. Who's that subscriber you sort of like the name of the most?
Captain Von Chicken Pants.
Yeah, excellent name that was. Yeah, that is.
I do like that one.
But yeah, the comments are just so supportive and amazing, and it's just so great to know that there's
keeps you going, doesn't it?
Like-minded people out there. Well, we'll end it here, I think, but we'll definitely do this again. So maybe do it once a week with Lorraine as well. The rest of the time we'll just have to put up with little old me. So it's Tim and Lorraine from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.